"Please save my baby," she whispered, her voice trembling as she cradled the infant to her chest, her tear-filled eyes locking with his. In that moment, everything around him faded, the noise of the hospital waiting room, the calls on his phone, even the weight of the empire he had built, and all that remained was her pain. And her child. No one expected Alexander Grant, the ruthless billionaire known for buying out hospitals, not saving lives, to be standing in a public emergency room at midnight. He had come there that evening only because his driver had taken a wrong turn and his own chest pain had grown just severe enough to make him walk in. But fate had other plans. He was about to turn back toward the reception desk when he saw her, a woman in a faded floral dress, no older than 30, holding a feverish baby wrapped in a towel instead of a blanket. Her lips were quivering, panic radiated from her eyes, but no one behind the counter seemed to be moving fast enough. The nurse was asking her questions she couldn't even process. "I don't have insurance," she said again and again, each time her voice weaker than before. "But he's burning up. Please, save my baby." Alex felt something inside him shift, a sharp, uncomfortable stirring. It wasn't pity. He was long past feelings like that. But something in her eyes reminded him of a time he tried so hard to forget. He stepped forward without thinking. "What's wrong with the child?" he asked. She looked up, startled. I don't know. He has a fever, and he won't open his eyes. I've tried everything. Please, they won't help me without money." He didn't ask for her name. He simply turned to the nurse and said, "Admit the child. I'll cover everything." The nurse blinked. "Sir, do you?" "I'm Alexander Grant," he said. "Do you want my ID or my bank statement?" Within seconds, the baby was being wheeled away. The mother stood frozen in place, hands trembling, her entire body collapsing with exhaustion as a wave of relief washed over her. Alex caught her just before she fell and guided her gently to a nearby bench. "Why were you alone?" he asked softly. "My name's Clara," she said, her voice barely audible. "I was on my way to a shelter when he suddenly stopped crying. That's when I knew something was wrong. I came here, but I didn't think anyone would care." He didn't respond. He just sat there beside her, eyes watching the hallway where her baby had disappeared. It wasn't supposed to matter. He was just doing a good deed, a one-time act of kindness. But something about the way she had clung to her child, something in her desperation, was too familiar. He had seen that desperation before, on his own mother's face. When he was 7, his father had left, and his mother worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table. He remembered lying sick in bed for days, his mom begging a pharmacy to let her take medicine and pay later. He remembered how ashamed she looked, how tired. How hopeless. He had promised himself that one day, no one he loved would ever feel that kind of helplessness again. But in chasing power and money, he had left behind that vulnerable boy and any capacity to care about others. Until tonight. Hours passed. The doctors finally emerged. "The fever's down," they said. "It was a severe infection, but we've managed to stabilize him. He'll need a few days here, but he's going to be okay." Clara collapsed into tears, whispering thanks to anyone and everyone. Alex stood silently beside her, hands in his pockets, unsure of what to do next. When she turned to him, her eyes still full of tears, she asked, "Why did you help me?" He paused, searching for the right words. But all he said was, "Because once, someone should have helped my mother, and no one did." Clara nodded, her hand brushing against his sleeve gently, not with gratitude alone but something deeper: recognition, connection, humanity. Over the next few days, Alex kept visiting. It began with updates about the baby, who she named Noah. Then came coffee. And shared stories. Clara told him about her past, how her husband died before Noah was born, how she had lost her job and her apartment, and how she had been surviving on scraps of hope. And for the first time in years, Alex started telling his own story too. The one hidden behind the suits and headlines. The boy who once slept on a mattress with springs poking through. The teenager who worked 3 shifts and skipped meals. The man who became a billionaire but never allowed himself to be vulnerable again. Each visit blurred the lines between duty and choice, and soon, Alex began to see her not as a struggling woman, but as someone courageous. Resilient. Clara made him laugh again. Made him feel human again. She wasn't just someone he saved, she was someone who unknowingly began saving him. One evening, as he walked her and baby Noah out of the hospital, she looked at him with a softness in her voice. "You changed everything, Alex. I don't know how I'll ever repay you." He shook his head. "You don't owe me anything." "You gave me hope again," she whispered. He looked at Noah sleeping peacefully in her arms, then back at her. "No," he said. "You reminded me what hope even feels like." Months later, Clara and Noah had a small apartment, paid for anonymously at first. But she soon found a job, one she earned entirely on her own. Alex never tried to buy her life, and she never asked for more than he gave freely. Their connection grew not from need but from honesty, trust, and shared wounds. And in the quiet moments, Sunday walks in the park, evenings cooking together, or watching Noah take his first steps, Alex realized that sometimes, saving someone wasn't about money or power. Sometimes it was about being there when it mattered most. Sometimes, all it took, was looking into someone's eyes and choosing not to walk away. In the end, he didn't just save a baby. He found a family. And maybe, just maybe, he saved himself too.